minimum viable product, which is essentially a slice of the service. It is the full service from beginning to end, but it won't be for all users, and it certainly won't meet all needs. For the people who use our services, they are getting something put in front of them really quickly. It might not be the whole service, it might not meet all the needs, but there's a part of it that we can start working with our users and getting feedback. So it's much more responsive, it's much more flexible. It's quicker to get something in front of people sooner. It's not necessarily quicker overall in the grand scheme of the whole, the outcome that we're trying to achieve, but it's certainly quicker in getting feedback, and then we use that feedback to help influence the progression of the solution to that problem.
At the end of our alpha phase on Scott Account, we had set some objectives of what we wanted to achieve, but we had to be realistic and sort of whittle that down a bit to what was an acceptable MVP. So what was the minimum amount we could deliver as a working product. In the end, we've been able to enhance and build on that MVP, and that's been okay. We had to be realistic about what we could achieve, but that MVP has meant that we've had something that we've been able to have up and running, been able to take some learnings from that, how users are interacting with it, and then build upon that.
Holding that steady line on the MVP was probably one of the hardest things I had to do in the overall programme. But it was so important, because if I hadn't done that, the benefits that were needed immediately wouldn't have been delivered. And we would still be discussing what was going to be valuable and how it was going to work at a point where people were sitting there arriving at airports and coming into the country, not in, tens of people, but in hundreds of people. And local authorities were bursting at the seams. We had not accommodation for people. There were people getting shipped around the country, and to have no tool to support that activity we'd have lost control of the situation immediately. So although there were so many benefits that we could see in front of us, we had to deliver the ones that we had immediately and then make sure we went on to what was next.